Hey there, good afternoon. It's afternoon where I am. We just finished lunch here at my guru's place where I live out in the countryside beyond Mysore. I have tried to make this video a couple times today and have screwed it up a couple times because I haven't made a video in a while and I am not standing still. So now I'm going to stand more still and I'm going to focus on what I'm doing. Recently I've been seeing a lot of posts from people about why I quit Ashtanga Yoga. And every one of the posts, I didn't know all of the people, but the first one I read, I knew the guy, and he had been someone who was practicing in Mysore at the same time as me. And I got to know him, and I like him. He's a nice guy, and he's a pretty well-known photographer and made videos for a lot of people. And he wrote about why he did it, and I didn't disagree with his reasons. It was perfectly valid. I don't think I'm trying to disapprove what he was saying, but after that, I slowly ended up reading like 10, 11, 12 more posts in the last week of why I quit Ashtanga Yoga. So I wanted to talk about why I didn't quit or have not quit Ashtanga Yoga, and I started practicing in the year 2000. And this is the year 2025. So March 1st was my 25th anniversary of beginning the practice. Most people know my story. I've made a video about it, so if you're looking for that, it's probably here on YouTube. So I'm not going to get into all the details of it again. And I'm going to be completely honest, I've said this before, I did take a small break from Ashtanga. I never quit it. I was doing it a couple times a week at home, just doing less of it. And I had been hurting myself a lot, trying to force my body into third series poses that maybe I was not ready for. And so I took the time to study Ashtanga Yoga so I would learn how my body works and how to get my joints open in a healthier way. And I also at the same time was studying Kundalini Yoga because I was interested, and I still am more interested in the energetic side of the yogic journey and how the energy flows within us and around us and in the world, how to utilize that to the best of my ability to help myself and to help other people. And that's what led me to where I'm living now, is because my guru is teaching me that stuff, and it's very interesting to me. But I still do my Ashtanga practice almost every day. One of the biggest things I noticed in all of the posts that I read, and I ended up not reading all of them fully because I got tired of kind of hearing the same story, is that there was this idea that Ashtanga is so unadaptable to each person, and I never had that experience because when I was, I never really got to study with a person, and that's why at a certain point when I was kind of learning third series on my own, I had learned a bit with Nancy, and I had learned intermediate with Nancy in Hawaii, but I never hurt myself, and after I got home I was hurting myself a lot because I was pushing too hard. And so I contacted her and she said, well, instead of doing every day this intermediate and adding on third, do that one day and the next day try primary and then the next day do whatever and then take a day off and then go back and forth between full primary and that. And if you need to do less, do less. It's okay. It's no big deal. And so that's not the mentality of most of the people who practice these days. And it was kind of an all or nothing thing. And I will tell you now, I probably haven't done full primary series in a year, or full intermediate series for that matter. Last week I did intermediate series one day randomly because I needed something else. My back had a bit of a kink in it, so I did almost all of intermediate series and then back bending and closing sequence, and I felt great after that. When I do, like today, this morning, I did Surya Namaskar A and B, standing poses, back bends, closing sequence. That's what I did. Some days when I have more time, when I get up earlier, then I'll do more primary series, but I often will stop at or around Mrityasana C or D. Sometimes I'll go further. A lot of times I don't go further, a lot of times I don't get that far, because what I do in primary series, what I do in my Ashtanga practice, is I try to open up and unlock my body to whatever level I need that day. I'm doing a lot of mantra work and a lot of other work with energy in my own body. And I am at a point where I need less physical work. And I've tried doing less, even less than I do now. And it's hard on me. My body, as I'm getting older, I will be 55 next week. I do need the physical work, because I'm here, and when I'm doing my work here, I'm walking around all of the grounds picking flowers on very uneven, bumpy, holy, hilly, cobra holes, bumps where trees are, bumps where trees have been. I'm walking on a very uneven ground. And on a day like yesterday, where I took yesterday as my day off, and it was a Wednesday, not the typical day off, but I take the day off that feels like the right day for me, which is an option. You can do that. And then today I only did, not only, it was a full practice for me today, standing and closing. And it worked really well. And I felt better today doing my flower picking. And then at night when I'm helping, I'm walking around on the grounds a lot barefoot, which is really great for earthing, for getting your connection with the magnetic field of the earth. And you're absorbing minerals through your feet, all kinds of stuff. So it's been, I'm kind of going along with that and feeling what feels like the right thing. Now everybody says, no, but you have to do it this, you have to do that. And I'm like, I have been practicing Ashtanga Yoga, the Vinyasa practice, for 25 years, for over 25 years. It's May, so 2 months longer than 25 years. And nobody on the whole fucking planet has a right to tell me, no, but I'm supposed to do this. I have not killed myself, but I have put so much effort into, when I was saving money to come to Mysore for the last 11 years, practicing with Shrat when he was still alive. So killing myself to get the money to come here. Coming here and practicing hardcore every day. Doing primary, adding on intermediate, doing dropbacks, doing all the things, then eventually doing intermediate series. And I've been doing it for 25 years, and I used to do a lot longer practice and bigger poses, harder poses than I do now. So if I'm going to a shala, the shala is the place you're to learn the traditional form of the practice. And then you have every right to take that practice with you into the world and use it in whatever way you want. Now, if you want to go to the shala still and go every day, then you're going to have to keep putting in the work that goes with going to the shala, because you can't let someone get away with one thing and some get away with another. But everyone goes to the shala. I was just teaching in Germany for almost 3 months. One girl, some comes in and says, I don't have a lot of time today and I'm really tired, but I know I need to do something. I said, do Surya Namaskara A, do Surya Namaskara B, and evaluate, how do I feel? And she got done and she said, I feel more energized now. I want to do some standing poses. I said, okay, do it. So she did standing poses and she said, I think that's all I got. And I said, well then, do your back bends, don't do drop backs, and then do closing sequence. And she did it, and she said, when she texted me later in the day, I had so much energy all day long, that was great. And I said, you don't have to come into a shala, even though I am a fairly traditional teacher. I also learned during a time period where it was a more adaptable practice. As it got progressive and more students were coming, they had to be a little bit harder and harsher with the rules about what's being done in the shala. So because they couldn't watch everyone individually to the level that used to be the case. So I understand that the rules got a little bit stricter so that they could make sure everyone was safe in doing what they were doing. Because Shrat was a good teacher and he was really great with his adjustments, and I've never known anyone who got hurt from an adjustment of him that he had given. I myself never. He actually kind of healed me a few times with some of his adjustments. There is no reason If the teacher's open to it, that you can't go in and do, say like you can't do it at home, you don't have the space, you live in efficiency, or you have a full house of people there who try to distract you the whole time, so going to the shala is your best option. Go! And if the teacher's open to it, ask them, can I just do a little bit today? I don't have time, and see what happens. And then if that works for you and you go most days and you end up doing less and you feel better, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with feeling better? How many of us feel like shit all the time in our life because we're pushing ourselves to do something and we don't get it complete, so then we judge ourselves and feel bad about it. That is not what yoga is supposed to be about at all. The asana part of yoga is really meant to get your body healthy, to get the blood circulating, to get the energy flowing through all of the proper channels. And if you're doing pranayama, you're bringing prana into the shakti into the body. You're using the bandhas to move the shakti through the body, to move the prana up through the sushumna. To get, I hate to use the word enlightened, but to get enlightened, to get an awareness, a level of clarity and awareness that most people don't have. You're not trying to get further along in the series. If you're interested in getting further along in the series, more power to you and great for you. I do it. I have days where I'm really in a mood and have a lot of energy and I challenge myself more. And I have days where I don't have the energy and I might challenge myself on those days too. And I have days where I just know if I do more today, I'm gonna do some damage, so I don't. And sometimes I still do, because I still have that old mentality in there a little bit. And then I do some damage and I have to pay the price of that. Take it easy on yourself. If this yoga, this asana practice, is here to enhance your life, and yet to enhance your experience of life by increasing your level of awareness and your level of consciousness around things in your life and with people in your life, and it is hindering you and making your life harder because you feel like you have to do more and have to get through it, then what is the fucking point of it? That is not at all what this is all about. So why are we doing that? It's someone coming home honking at me. Why are we doing that? Why aren't we using it to enhance our life? Now, I have many times I would love to do a lot more than I'm doing. This fly has discovered my nose, and probably need to give myself a bigger push a little bit more than I do. And some days I judge myself about it, and some days I don't. But I think mostly I don't, and mostly I feel good moving into my day, moving through my day with what I'm doing. So, if you don't know full primary series, good, enjoy that you don't know it. Then you won't feel judgy if you can't get through all of it. Enjoy what you can do. Play around with more if you're at home on your own. If you're in the shala, you kind of got to follow the rules of the shala. If you are pushing to such a degree that you're hurting yourself, why are you doing that? Number one. And why do you want to do that? Why don't you catch yourself doing that? Because you are doing this practice to create more awareness, so you should notice when you're doing these things. And don't worry about it as much as you are. And then you'll enjoy it a little bit more. And if you're not enjoying it at all, why are you doing it? Do something else. There's lots of things out there to do. David Swinson, I just saw a little clip of an interview with him that I forgot to watch the interview. Now it's come up in my mind. I'm going to watch it on Harmony's podcast. He said, you can do Ashtanga Yoga on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On Tuesday and Thursday, maybe you're doing an Iyengar class, and on Saturday you're taking a nude yoga class. What the hell? Do it. Enjoy it. It's okay. It's all yoga, and it's all meant to do the same thing. Take you to a deeper level of awareness, get your body healthy, get your circulation going, and move the energy. And if you're obsessed with I'm not gonna go there, because if you're obsessed with it, that's your business. That's fine. I'm not gonna finish that statement. But do whatever it takes to enjoy it more and to enjoy your life more. I think that's the most important thing. Yoga means union, and if you're doing it and you feel out of sorts more than you feel connected within yourself, then you're not doing yoga. That's my opinion. This is all my opinion. But if you're watching my videos, you obviously know that you're going to get my opinion. And I hope you have a great day. That's all I got to say. I'll make another video soon, because I have a little bit more to say on some other things that people have contacted me about. All right, take care. Ciao.